Hello everyone, my name is Amanpreet Singh Chadha and you are watching me on KGS Engineers AJ YouTube channel. I welcome you all in this session. As you know, in this session we cover the various topics, various conceptual part of the civil engineering, but the only difference is that this session is being conducted in English language. So we have dedicated this session to those students who are more comfortable in English as compared to Hindi. So the civil engineering remains the same even if it is Hindi or English. So even if you are not that much comfortable in English, this session will still help you, as we will be solving some very interesting numericals and conceptual questions. So please join this session now so that we can start. Jai Hind. Jai Hind. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So, bacho, today we will be solving some very interesting numericals and questions. I hope you are aware of the fact that right now I am conducting two sessions of civil engineering on this channel. One begins at 11 a.m. in the morning. This one occurs at 4 p.m. And just in few days time, Apoorv sir will also join me and we will have dedicated sessions for RRB CBT2 exam. Now in the coming days, for few days, we will not be running these this English session, because we lay more focus on the RRB JEE CBT2 exam. So I hope after a certain period of time we will again start the English sessions as well. Nah, 3 digit में तो नहीं होगा, that would be extremely low. So बच्चे, to be very honest with you, me and Apoorv sir, we both teach 600 hours in technical. And then apart from technical, you will also be covering the non-technical part. So this much of syllabus, this much of quality content, engaging syllabus, the price 999 is way too low. बहुत ज़्यादा कम है. मतलब we won't able to get the cost of the resources we will put. Good evening, good evening. Surely. So, bacho, let's start the session. This is your question number first. The state of pure shear stress is produced by what? The state of pure stress is produced by what? Good evening. And my bache, I would just suggest you that you can check on any other platform as well. You won't be finding the price you are looking for. Especially if you're also looking for the content. The kind of content we provide, the depth we provide in engineering, I believe whatsoever amount you will pay, you will feel the worth. It is more than 999. To be very honest with you, the price is more than 999. It won't be 999. Namaste, namaste. So, bacho, in case of pure shear, what happens is the center coordinate is 0. So, the center coordinate is 0. So, tension in one direction and equal compression in perpendicular direction. So tension in one direction and equal compression in perpendicular direction. Equal tension in two, not the option B. Equal compression, no. Same magnitude of compression in all the three directions, no. So this is sigma, this is sigma. So center will be sigma minus sigma by 2. The coordinate of center is sigma plus sigma y by 2. One sigma is positive, the other is negative because it is of the opposite nature. So the answer is option A. Good afternoon, namaste. So this question has all the potential to confuse you, and it is possible that it has confused you. In order to solve such question, always try to find the center, because we know the center of Mohr circle for pure shear occurs at the origin. At the time of designing a 40-meter length chimney with one end fixed, effective length is considered as what? So one end is fixed in chimney, the other is free. So effective length is, what is the value of effective length? It will be 2 times L. Good evening. $80 meters. Presence of 0.2% sugar by weight of cement in the mixing water is likely to do what? What does the presence of sugar do in concrete? Good evening. What does the presence of sugar do? Sugar acts as a retarder. It retards the setting time. So sugar acts as a retarder. The answer is option A. If water cement ratio is 0.6, then the water content per standard bag is what? Very easy question. If the water cement ratio is 0.6, that what should be the quantity of water used per cement bag? Now we know that one cement bag weighs 50 kg. So 50 into 0.6, 30 kg. The option. If the depth of neutral axis for singly reinforced rectangular section is represented by KD, where K is the constant, small d, this is small d, the effective depth, then the value of K depends on what? मेरे बच्चे, I believe you are not right now updated. The last batch of the course was in fact, I believe 1899. The last batch we have introduced was RRB CBT2, CBT1 and 2. And trust me, mere bache, I believe you are in no position to negotiate the cost. I'm saying you this. As an engineering aspirant, the entire syllabus of civil engineering plus non-tech. And again I am saying, you can trust me, मैं आपको एकदम स्ट्रेट शब्दों में बोल रहा हूँ, आप किसी भी एडटेक प्लेटफॉर्म पे चले जाइए, बिल्कुल जाइए, एंड व्हेन वी विल रिलीज द प्राइस, आप कंपेयर कर लीजिएगा, द वे जहां आपको सबसे कम लगेगा आप वहां ज्वाइन कर लीजिए. दिस इज द मैक्सिमम आई कैन से, बिकॉज एज अ टीचर आई नो द क्वालिटी वी प्रोवाइड. ठीक है, जो क्वालिटी हम देते हैं वी नो दिस. तो मतलब इट्स नॉट लाइक कि सब्जी खरीदने नहीं आए हो आपकी, वो 40 रुपए किलो उधर है तो 20 रुपए किलो इधर है. यू आर एन इंजीनियरिंग एस्पिरेंट एंड still I am saying the price that we would be offering, the price of our course will still be the lowest among all the edtech companies, all the edtech players. I still assure you this. But if you believe that the cost is still high, it's up to you. So, bache, the formula is K is M times sigma CBC upon M times sigma CBC plus sigma ST. But now M is 280 by 3 times sigma CBC. So, sigma CBC will be cancelled out. So, K depends on sigma ST only. The soil has a bulk density this, water content this. What is the dry density? So this will be 44 upon 1.1. 40. The option. Considering the structural resistance to displacement of soil, frictional resistance between the individual soil particles, cohesion between the surface of the soil particles. The shear strength of soil basically made up of these statements. So the shear strength of soil is because of which factors? The shear strength is because of which factors? It is because of all the three factors. This factor third is important for clays, whereas this is important for sand. So all the three factors combining together leads to the shear strength of the soil. Okay, now this is the match the following: viscosity, surface tension, compressibility and capillarity. The answer is option B. So, bache, what is viscosity? Viscosity is the resistance to flow, property which explains the resistance to flow. Now, there is only one option where A is associated with 3. So, there is no need to go for the other options. The answer is option A, but we can still learn about the other options. So, what is surface tension? This is the property which explains spherical nature of the drop. Compressibility is related to the change of volume under pressure change, and capillarity is movement of water against the action of gravity. Considering screening, sedimentation, disinfection and filtration, what is the correct sequence? What is the correct sequence? So first of all, we do screening. After screening, we do sedimentation, then filtration, then disinfection. 1, 2, 4, 3. The option. 1, 2, 4, 3. Now the standard load corresponding to 2.5 mm and 5 mm deformation as per CBR is what? The important thing here is you should know the unit as well. Sometimes the student just remember the magnitude but are unaware of the unit. Make sure you know the magnitude as well as the unit. The answer is option C. Now let's solve a very interesting numerical. The numerical states that this is a graph between force and time. So there is body of mass 10 kg and on this body a force F is applied for a time t. Now this is 5 seconds and this is 10 seconds. So 10 kg force is applied on this body for 5 seconds, and then this force linearly decreases for the next 5 seconds. So this is the graph between force and time for a 10 kg mass body. Now put G equals to 10 meter per second square. The initial velocity is 2 meter per second. Now listen to this question again, very interesting question. Question आपसे ये कह रहा है कि एक body है 10 kg mass है, force is 8 kg, the force is in kgs. Now this is the variation of force and time. You need to put G 10 meter per second square. The initial velocity is 2 meter per second. What is the final velocity after 10 seconds? Answer is 58 meter per second, 60 meter per second, 6 meter per second, or 10 meter per second. So बच्चों, this is a very interesting question. This question was asked in engineering services. The question says on a mass of 10 kg, on a body of mass 10 kg, a force is being applied and the variation of this force with time is shown. The initial velocity is 2 meter per second. What will be the velocity after 10 seconds? And the options are given in front of you. Very interesting question. Can someone tell me what do you get when you multiplied force into time? Which parameter you observe when you multiplied force and time? You get impulse, and impulse is what? Change of momentum. So get the area of this figure. The area of this figure is 8 into 5 rectangle plus half 8 into 5. So this is 60 kg. Now put this, convert this 60 kg into Newton. Now G's need to be put as 10. So 600 Newton second, kilogram second, Newton second is the area of this graph, which should be equals to rate of change of momentum. Now momentum is mass into velocity. So 600. Bache, mass is constant 10. Velocity changes V2 minus V1. So V2 minus V1 is 60. But what is the initial velocity? 2. So the answer is 62 meter per second. Deliberately, I did not put the correct option so that no one can get the answer correct through fluke. The answer is 62 meter per second. Very interesting question. Which of the following device is used to measure speed of a moving vehicle? Which of the following is used to determine the speed of the moving vehicle? Weighbridge, lidar gun, noise meter, loop detector. This is lidar gun. Consider the following pairs. Broad gauge. The pairing is broad gauge is 167 gauge, 1676 meter. Meter gauge is 762, narrow gauge is 1000. Now which one is correctly paired? Easily this is broad gauge. बच्चों, DMRC, Delhi Metro Rail Corporation, Which gauge is used? The crown jewel, Adbud Nagina, the crown jewel of our country, Delhi Metro, one of the most important transportation system in the entire country. Which gauge is used in DMRC? Very good. Standard gauge is used. Okay, very easy question. Bending moment, shear force, torsional moment are given. What is the equivalent bending moment? So this question is 100% formula based. So if you know the formula, you can easily solve this. Most of the students are aware with the formula of equivalent shear, which is VU equals to VU plus 1.6 TU by B. But are you aware with the equivalent bending moment formula? Hello. Okay, no one knows the formula. The expression is TU 1 plus D by B by 1.7. This is the equivalent bending moment. It's D by B. D by B. So D is 600 by B plus 1 torsional moment plus 150. So equivalent moment will be mu plus m. This value is 79.4 plus 150. A option. Now a very simple trick. एक बच्चे ने बोला कई बार याद करा but I keep on forgetting this formula. One thing you can do is write down this formula, take the picture of this formula, and whenever you get time, try to read this formula. And if possible, try to solve some numericals. The best way to keep the hold on a formula is to solve numerical. Because when you put the data, let's say you remember this thing, that answer comes out to be 79.4. So in somewhere in your subconscious mind, this data is feed that yes, there was certain terms, 600 was divided by 300 like this. So if you're unable to grasp the formula, if you're unable to keep the hold on this formula, then always solve numericals. Consider the following pairs: admixtures, chemicals, okay, water reducing admixture, calcium chloride, air entering agent, neutralized Winsol resin, superplasticizer, sulfonated melanin, accelerator, lingosulfonate. Which of the following pairs is correct? So calcium chloride is not an water reducing admixture. In fact, it is an accelerator. So A cannot be the option. So option C and D are eliminated. C is in both the options. So C is correct. Now air entering agent is neutralized Vinson resin. No. Answer is option C. Oh, sorry. What I am saying here. The answer is option A. B and C. Consider the following statements: cube strength, cylindrical strength, split tensile strength, modulus of rupture. This very same question is regularly asked in competitive exams. So the lowest is split tensile, then comes modulus of rupture, then comes cylinder, then come cube. So this is 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry, 3, 4, 2, 1. 3, 4, 2, 1. A soil sample has a total unit weight this, void ratio is this, determine the moisture content. Now, we can clearly say the data in this question is incomplete because if they have given the total unit weight, then degree of saturation must have been known. But in order to solve this question, we'll assume let's say this is the saturated unit weight. So if this is the saturated unit weight, then gamma sat is G plus E upon 1 plus E gamma W. So this is 16.97. G is not given. G plus 0.84 upon 1.84 into 9.81. Now what we will get from this data is G. So 16.97 into 1.84 divided by 9.81 and then minus 0.84. So the value of G is 2.34. But S is equals to WG. We have assumed the soil to be saturated. E is 0.4, W and G is 2.34. So 0.84 by this value, this will be 35.8. So if we assume the soil to be saturated, only then this question can be solved. Otherwise, the data will be insufficient. Because if they keep the data as the soil being taken as partially saturated, then data is not sufficient. Because in that case, gamma T is G plus SE upon 1 plus E gamma W. Without the knowledge of degree of saturation, we won't be able to get G. Because in that case, there will be three unknowns. S is equals to WG. We do not know S, we do not know G, we do not know W. And there are only two equations to solve. Good evening, good evening. Very interesting question, definitely deserves a tree. Which of the following properties depend on effective stress? So, which of the following properties depend on effective stress? All of them. Shear strength, compressibility, permeability. In fact, these properties are known as engineering properties. A sand sample of area and length is given under a head. This, oh, wow, this is a very interesting question. Determine the seepage velocity. We'll solve this in the end. Let's solve other questions. A steel flat of thickness 10 mm tapers uniformly from 60 to 40. Length is this, load is this. What is the extension? Delta L is PL upon TE, B minus B log E base B by B. So make sure you know the formula. B is 60 by 40 log of this value into load into length divided by T divided by 20 divided by E. 0.486. Make sure you remember this one. The tapered circular section is the one that students are more comfortable with. They remember that formula one. So in case of circular, the expression is easier to remember. That's why most of the students know this one. This is 4PL upon pi E D1 D2. But make sure you also know this one. Nowadays, this formula is asked more compared to this one, because the teachers who are setting up the paper know this, that students do not know this one. The term alternate depth is used in open channel flow to denote the depths having what? What is the definition of alternate depths? Two different depths having the same specific energy. The option. A triangular open channel has a vertex angle of 90 degrees and carries flow this. Now what is the discharge? So बच्चों, critical flow is, so Q square upon G is equals to AC cube by TC. 90 degree is the vertex angle, so M will be 1, tan theta, theta is 45. So Q square upon G, the value of M is 1. So area is YC square and its cube, so YC to the power 6. So 0.3 to the power 5 upon 2 times 1, because in the denominator it will be 2my. So the yc to the power 6 in the numerator and y in the denominator, so the term left will be yc to the power 5. Now when you will solve this, the answer will come out to be as option D. A rectangular channel has a width of 2 meter and carries a discharge this with a depth this. At a certain section, a small smooth hump is built. Calculate the critical depth of flow. We need to determine the critical depth of flow. Critical depth of flow. Q square upon G D square YC cube. The discharge is already given. So what's the role of hump in this question? Q is 4.8 into 4.8 divided by G 9.81 divided by B, which is 2, it's a square, and cube root of this term 0.837. Nearly, option D, nearly. But what's the role of hump in this question then? But let me frame this question in another way. Can you tell me the value of delta Zm for this question? Maximum hump height will be E1 minus EC. E1 will be Y1 plus Q square upon 2G B square Y1 square minus 3 by 2 YC. Now all the data is given to you. YC is 1.6. Or let me solve this. This is 4.8 into 4.8 divided by 2 divided by 9.81 by 4 by 1.6, 1.6 plus 1.6 minus 1.5 into 0.837. Hump height will be 0.46. Very good. Very good, Jimmy. For steady incompressible flow through a closed conduit of uniform cross section, the direction of flow will always be what? Very interesting question. For steady incompressible flow through a closed conduit of uniform cross section, the flow will occur from where to where? In fact, we have discussed this question in the morning as well. As the cross section is uniform, velocity is constant. As velocity is constant, it will be cancelled out in Bernoulli's equation. So it will occur from higher piezometric head to lower piezometric head. Now in this piezometric head, pressure head plus datum head will be included. What were the main recommendations of Jayakar committee? CRF was founded in 1929. Indian Road Congress was established in 1930. Central Road Research Institute in 1950. More stress was given on long-term planning. So, bachcho, first of all, the Indian Road Congress was established in 1930. Indian Road Congress was established in 1930. So, answer cannot be option B. Now, A, C and D are correct. Choose the correct relation between gradient and camber. Very important question, frequently asked in exams. So, what is the relation between camber and gradient? So, gradient is twice the camber. Slenderness ratio of a 5-meter long column hinged at both ends having a circular cross section with diameter 160 is what? So length is 500 meter and this will be D by 4. So D is 160 by 4 or 125. Consider the following statements. A simply supported beam is subjected to a couple somewhere in the span. It would produce what? Rectangular shear force diagram, parabolic bending moment, both positive and negative bending. Now, I believe we have solved this question so many times that at least this question should not trouble you. We know this, the answer is not option second, so just eliminate option second. Answer is option D. If a simply supported concrete beam pre-stressed with a force of 2500 kilonewton, so as per the load balancing concept, what should be the central dip? Again, a very important question frequently asked in competitive exams. So all you need to do is balance the bending moment diagram, your bending moment due to load with bending moment due to pre-stressing. So W is 40, length is 10, and the P is 2500. 200. Don't worry, we have one question left. We'll solve that one. This one. So a sand sample of 35 centimeter cross-sectional area, 20 centimeter is tested. The dry weight is given. What is the seepage velocity? Now, in order to determine the seepage velocity, V by Vs is equals to N. So you must know V. Now V is K into I. V is K into I, which is equals to Q upon A. So what is the discharge? Discharge is volume per unit time, 120 ml. Now make sure of the unit. 120 ml. 1 centimeter cube is 1 ml. So 120. What is the time? This is 6 minutes. So 6 into 60. This is the discharge. And what is the value of area? Area is 35. So we will get the discharge velocity. So discharge velocity is 120 by 6 by 60 by 35. .5 to 10 to the power minus 3 centimeter per second. Obviously, this is not the answer. This is discharge velocity. We need to find out the seepage velocity. So first we need to find out the porosity of the section of the soil. Dry weight is given. Now dry weight is weight of solids per unit volume, which is G gamma W upon 1 plus E. The weight of the solid is 1120. The volume of the soil is 35 into 20. The value of G is 2.68. Gamma W1 upon 1 plus E. So 1120 divided by 35 by 20, 2.68 by this value minus 1. So this is the void ratio, which is 0.675. Porosity will be E upon 1 plus E. .40 3. So seepage velocity will be 9.52 into 10 to the power minus 3 divided by 0.403. Point 023 centimeter per second. Answer should be this, but the power should be 10 to the power minus 2, not 3. 0.023 means 2.3 into 10 to the power minus 2 centimeter per second. Very, very, very interesting question. If you are able to solve such questions with confidence, then trust me, you will secure a very handsome salary very soon. So, pyare bachcho, with this, we are done with the session. Today, we solved some very interesting and amazing questions. So, bachcho, you like this question? Chalo, now I will see you tomorrow 11 a.m. in the morning and 4 p.m. in the evening. But tomorrow, this 4 p.m. class, we will hold it for some days because now we will be focusing on the RRB CBT2 exam. Once the RRB CBT2 exam is conducted, then after that, we will again start this session in English. So tomorrow you will have your last English session. The session at 11 a.m. will still be continued. Okay, now I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, do take care. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.